Hello and welcome back to Marineford TCG. So the next deck that I wanted to try post-bans is Lucci. We will have Doflamingo very soon, but I've always been a big fan of the black decks. So I wanted to check out how Lucci is. Shout out to ACG Dollars on X. Found a post that he made about his Lucci list, and it looked really interesting. So I decided to give it a go, and so far, from what limited testing I've done, I've been very impressed. This list is quite weird. You've got 4 copies of 5 plus Kaku, as well as a full 4 copies of the Haute Couture Patchwork. This card's honestly kind of great. I really like it. Not only is it just like a bad version of Tempest Kick, but this freezing 0 is actually quite relevant. There's a reasonable amount of times you can just freeze something and get away with not removing it that turn. Obviously, you've got to then push aggressively at your opponent, because it's going to unfreeze eventually. But into things like Jesus Burgess and Blackbeard, this is very reasonable, because they don't put on a lot of pressure. We just sort of need to draw our answers, and if you can't answer the Burgess on the turn that it comes down, and then swings, well, maybe you can freeze it for a turn and find the answer next turn. It just kind of buys you a turn to get out of an attack, in addition to just being a -3, which is great. 2 copies of Mansherry, because we do fill our trash, unlike Smoker. So being able to use Mansherry to grab anything that's 3 to 5 is just great. Often it will be grabbing Rebecca, but you can also grab 5 cost Kaku, you can grab the Lucci when you need him. Lots of 2Ks we can grab as well, and of course, our 1 token copy of Sabo. It's not great anymore, but if you somehow come across like a Lucci or Smoker Mirror, it's pretty reasonable. And into Shanks, obviously they can play Ben Beckman, but if they're playing like a Rayleigh or a Pop Shanks, this is better into them than some other decks. Full 4 copies of Hina, because of course this is like your main combo now, is Rebecca, Hina, Lucci, Rebecca, Hina plus a Jack on the board, Rebecca, Hina, Brooke, you know what I mean. The Hina is just very important now, and being a 3/5 is not to be scoffed at. I'm on 4 Lucci, and honestly I think I'm going to go to 3. This card has felt quite underwhelming. Obviously very powerful into like Zorro, and decks that sort of go wide with weenies. If you're playing as RG Law, I guess, as well. Lucci's very good into them because you get so much value, but honestly, it's kind of hard to have the reduction to remove 2 things without either a Gecko combo or Ice Age. Of course, you can still do like Tempest Kick, Rebecca, Hina, Lucci to maybe remove 2 mid-size units, but it's not as good as it used to be. I'm less impressed by the Lucci. And you'll also notice that this list has no Spandine. I was a bit curious about this when I saw his list. I was curious how it would feel without Spandine. But like I say, without Moria for consistent Rebecca, this card does feel a bit more underwhelming. And we have a lot of CP, but it can sometimes be hard to get enough in your trash to do, for example, like Spandine Kaku. The card's not bad by any means, and if you want to play a couple copies, it might be better, but for now, I've been testing without, and I've not really missed it. One other card that I think, or the 2 other cards, I guess, that could go in this are the 2 Kuzans. 4 cost Kuzan is great now. It's just would require uprooting this build a bit, I think, to include. We're probably not playing the Haute Couture at that point, and this has felt very strong. So, not sure. If you want to play Kuzan, probably can't afford to play this. And also Tenzan is another interesting boss monster that I've been seeing people give a bit more respect to now that Moria doesn't just do everything he does better. It's obviously not the best card in the world, and into Blackbeard it's still pretty underwhelming. But it's a 10 cost, it's a 10/10, the stat line's great. And once you get it on the board, if you can drop it safely and not die, it's incredible. Dropping this after a Jack is very, very good. You remove a 5 and an 8. I mean, that's kind of crazy, right? That's kind of crazy. And then from there on, the removal just gets easier and easier and easier. So I think my next build, I will be testing a build with 10 cost Kuzan. But for now, this is the build that I've been checking out. Very good. I'm quite impressed with this build so far. We'll see how I feel once I've tested out the Kuzan, because I am interested in that too. Either way, here's some games with Lucci. Okay, got a match into Bonney. I'm going to go first because they like to drop their fellas on 5. Same bad. Got the Brook. I'd like to see Hina, but we do have Rebecca to maybe summon Hina. Let's keep this one. It's not too bad. Nothing on one. Nothing at all on one. See if it adds any searches that we can get some extra value out of with our Brook. Hopefully. That'll be nice. But we'll see. We'll see what he goes for here. Could also drop Killer, I guess. But that seems... He did drop Killer. Interesting. Let's just go with that there. Mill Rebecca Kaku. Not bad. Well, we get to remove his Killer. That's a nice one. And we'll take that any day of the week. Is this a Rouge? Are we actually playing a Rouge again? That's exciting, if so. That is exciting. And I'm going to take the first swing. No trigger on that for sure. A Rouge is back. Let's go. That's kind of hype. That is kind of hype. We can't really remove this guy easily. I mean, I guess we have the Lucci, right? But because he has the Don open, we can't attack with both of these. It's a bit of a bummer. Nothing good in the trash. If we had this Kaku instead of the Khalifa, that would be pretty good. We could go... We probably have to just leave the Rouge in play, in all honesty. We'll develop some stuff of our own, though. Yeah, we'll go with the Spandam, see what we get. Okay, we get fucking nothing. That's not good. Okay, okie dokie. Yeah, that sucks. That sucks a lot. Is there anything we can grab back here? We can grab back we could do Rebecca, grab back a Sabo. I don't like using one of Rebecca's for just that, though. That feels weak. We'll just play out the Lucci. We'll go 5 here, play out the Lucci. What do we mill? Middle Jack. It's going to take again. Ah, the Hina. That's what we needed. We needed that to be in the trash already, though. If we'd got that in the trash off the Spandam, that would have been the nut. Alas, we could do it next turn, maybe. We could go Rebecca, bring back Jack, because Jack is very, very good into them. And having Jack for next turn might actually be pretty good. We can solidly remove the Rouge at base, and maybe even go from there. So I'm going to go with the Rebecca, now that we have the Jack in there. Yeah, we have nothing to play out, but we've got the Jack. We can block for the Brook, maybe. It just depends what 5 costs he plays. They have many. They have now the Smoker, they have Carrot, they have Cavendish. Cavendish, probably the best one, but you can make an argument. Route 6 in trash. We'll be at 7 in trash if we block. I'm not sure he's going to want to swing with this Rouge. Let's make him swing with the Rouge, because then we can swing into the Rouge. A win-win. A win-win to be sure. I don't know what this is going to be for 6. Any number of his 5 costs. He's going to swing with the Rouge. Sure. Yeah, you got it. I'm guessing Smoker. My gut's telling me Smoker. Cavendish. Sure. That also works. Do we have anything for 1? We have a Bonney for 1. Sure, why not? Are we tapping? Yeah, we're tapping out because we have the Rouge, of course. Genius. Captain Kidd. He's not that scary into us, in all honesty. The Lucci is going to come in clutch here. And we need 4 for that, 1 for the kick. The kick's going to reduce this to 2. So we can remove these. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can swing 7 into the Rouge. If we hit the Rouge, he's more likely to let it go. Yeah, rest the Spandam. I don't care. He's thinking, what's he doing? What's he doing? It's like a toss-up on whether or not you let the Rouge go here, honestly. I think on balance you probably don't, but it will cost him 2 cards, and we know one of these at least is a kid. And it's Bonney, so like they play 5,000 bricks. But yeah, just the fact that we're going to be able to remove this Bonney and one more thing is very nice. And he does save it. It gives us a Rosinante, which I'm always happy to see gone. And an Apu. We'll go 1 Don for Tempest Kick. Use this here, get a 2k, not bad. Deploy this, use the card action, we'll send back the 2 Coutures, and a Brook. I think it's a Brook. I'll remove this, and then the turn. So that's a nice twofer. Not bad. Going down to 3, 6 cards. He's not got tons of resources now like he did a minute ago. We're on 4 with 6 cards. His board, I don't know, slightly better than ours. The Arouge is nice. It's a shame we didn't have the Hina in the trash on that one turn. That would have been insane. Holy Jones is pretty good, though. You can have a bit of aggression into... Remove our Lucci here. Yeah, that's fine. And then he's going to have a bit of aggression into our face, I guess. 5-6? Yeah. Not saving that. And we are swinging with the Rouge. I will take 1 swing. I will definitely take 1 swing. The Kaido removing the Hody is mandatory. We do need to keep in mind that we need a way to remove... What's his face? Zoro, if he has it. But I think that's a problem for another day. We simply can't do much about that unless we keep the Kaido. Can we remove the Hody with the Rebecca? Sorry, with the Jack? No, right? Not unless this hits exactly Tempest Kick, which is unlikely because we've already seen 2. Let's swing 5 into a Rouge. Just continually tax cards out of his hand. I don't want to play into Kid. As much as Kid is like not that bad for us, I really don't want to play into it. We'll go 9 for Kaido. Activate main. Trash. I think it's the Spandam. Go to that, and he's got to lose a card as well. Probably see a boss monster. Yeah, Smoker hit the trash is reasonable. And then we'll pass it over. Weird game. It's been a weird game. Good game, but a weird one for sure. Yeah, we've got like Sudu Jack, but that kind of sucks. Let's give him a 2k here, because we don't know what's coming. 6. This is Zoro, isn't it? This is Zoro. This is Zoro, we need answers. Lucci is an answer. It's Kid, sure. Kid's better than Zoro. Kid is better than Zoro all day long. Sure, we've got to remove the Rosinante first, of course. Rebecca Brook does not quite do it, so... If we develop the Jack here, that's pretty good, right? So we develop the Jack, we get rid of the Rosinante, we get a cycle, which is cool. And then we've got 3 Dom, we can do 12 into 8, which he's not going to be able to counter. So I think this is the move. We'll trash the Kaku here and ditch this. And then we'll attach all. And go to this. You ain't saving this. You can rest our leader, of course, but you're not saving this. And that's the big thing. Tenko's Dofi here will be very good, but you can only play around so much, right? You can't play around literally everything in the game. Especially not in green. Green has so many crazy options. They've got like the big Shanks. They've got big Dofi. Oh, wow, he can save it. Okay, that is scary. We've got enough counter, though. We do have enough counter to not die. Which is important. Yeah, that's scary. Yeah, no, we can't let that go. Do we want to give the man Sherry? I low-key like the man Sherry, but I think we need to give her up. Yeah, we can do RHL next turn. We've even got Suru as well. I'm going to trash the man Sherry. I think it's too risky. This is Doflamingo. Balls. If he's top deck Dofi out of 1 card, that is crazy. That's crazy, man. There's no way. There's no way. There's no way. There's no way you top deck to Dofi, bro. Zoro. Still scary. but certainly less scary. We can do Tsuru plus Kaido to remove this. We do still have to attack Kid is a problemo. That is a problem. He's got one open. We need to remove as much as we can this turn. Yeah, Tsuru plus Kaido to remove this is going to be the way. He doesn't have any cards in his hand, so we're going to lose value on the Kaido, which is a bit of a bummer. Can we attack? We can attack this first, right? Because he can sack the Arush to keep the Kid. Oh, this is tough, actually, you know? This is not easy. How are we supposed to approach this? I wish I had, like, Soap Sheep. That'd be crazy. Let's think. Rebecca Hina is -4. Tsuru is -6. This is 7. Rebecca Hina on the Kid brings it down to 2. No, bring it down to 4. Tsuru brings it down to 2. And then Lucci can KO it. But this fucking Zoro, bro. How do we can't kill the Zoro? That's crazy, man. That was a really good top deck. That was a really good top deck. Bekahina brings us to 5. Tsuru to 3. Jack KO? That might be the move. Yeah, that's the move. Okay, sorry about that. Rebecca, Hina, here. So it's at 5. Tsuru to 3. Jack. We don't want there's only a lot of these. I'll get rid of the Hina. We don't want that on the board. Yeah, we can't KO this Aruj. We can remove one or the other, and then we just hope he doesn't have a way to rest our Rebecca, right? We can play out the Lucci just as a guy. I might have forgotten about that a little bit. But it's okay, because we've got 6k counter. And he's letting it... We don't attack him here. But if we don't attack him, that kind of sucks balls too. I think we do attack. Even though we're giving him one more out to Hody Jones. I think we have to attack regardless. Yeah, we have to attack regardless. I might have forgotten a little bit about that. That's really embarrassing. But there's nothing we can do about it, right, though? Because as soon as we take out the Kid, he rests the Jack. And then the Jack can't take out the Zoro. So it was the play regardless. But it's not quite as good as I thought it would be. You playing Demon Ashura fucking shit-ass? You ain't playing Demon Ashura. There's no way. Nah, fuck you. Fuck you. I got 2Ks. Get out of here. GG indeed. Yeah, that was a tricky one. That was a tricky one. We got there in the end. Oh, Bonney's always so hard to play around, but these black decks are favoured into her. I just have that's officially. How many games have I played? Let me see. Let me see my stats. So far, I have played... This is telling me I've played 68 games so far, post-ban. And I've faced one Bonney. One! That's crazy. That's crazy. Either way, GG's for our opponent. That was a tricky one. And if he top decked a 10-cost Dofi there, we might have been in a real pickle. We might have been in a real pickle. This Aruj sticking around, just so good. think when I build my Bonney deck, I'm definitely going to be including at least a couple of these, because it's just so good if it sticks on the board. Lets you be so much more aggressive with your Don. Either way, well played. Let's move on. Got to go into Shanks. I'm going to take seconds because they like second. The Brook's not bad. We've got a Haute Couture to start. This seems reasonable. Yeah, I'll keep. It's not too bad. We've got the Jack as well. Jack's really nice. Especially if we can get some other reduction event down to combo with the Jack on 8. That would be really nice. We can clear a 7. Which is up to and including Beckman. He mulligans. No Ooters. Let's go with Spandam. Not really what I love to see. 2 good cards hitting the trash and a bad card in my hand. This Lucci has honestly been kind of underwhelming, but it's so good into the Zorro decks. I wonder if we could run 3. I wonder if we can get away with 3. I think we probably can, in all honesty. We're going to just see a 6. Yeah, I'll take the 6. Khalifa's honestly as compelling as Brook, I think. No, I don't think so. I think I want the Brook on the board, so then we can combo it with the Hina next time. I presume he's got that 1 counter event, but we're just going to go 6 anyway. And minus down nothing, of course. It's going to tag. If you've got that counter event, you should probably just use it, honestly. We'll just develop the Brook, so we've got him there for next turn. He's going to go with maybe Marco, maybe Yasop. Hopefully not Ace. That's the main one I'm hoping it isn't, because we can't remove that easily. But most of them aren't. Well, okay, 8 on 5. We'll have to take that one. Okay, we're going to definitely go with the the Rebecca this turn, for sure. So we can't swing with this, but we can. This is awkward, man. This shit's awkward. Do we just let the Brook die? Let him use his counter event? There's no way we can play around it, right? If I put 2 Don on the Brook... Yeah, if we put 2 Don on the Brook and swing 6 with the Brook, that gets around it. That's the move, right? Yeah. Yeah, sorry, it just took me a minute. It took me way too long there to work that out. That's quite embarrassing, actually. But here we are. Well, I mean, if you want to use your effect there, I'll swing again. It gives us O'Reilly. Yeah, well, now I'll swing again. So I don't know if that was correct. I feel like you just give us a 2k there if you have one. Although maybe that signals to me he doesn't have a 2k. Interesting. We're definitely going with Rebecca here. We want to develop that for sure. We're going to grab... We've already got a Jack. Don't need another one. We've got a Kaku. We probably want a 2k, but I also want to develop a second Brook. I'm going to go with the second Brook. You know? If we got 2 of these guys, that's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy. He's got Beckman here. Can remove something, presumably. You've got to assume it's Beckman at 7, right? It's always Beckman on 7. He's had nothing so far. Interesting that he had the Don last turn to play either of these Marco or Rayleigh, and just chose not to. I really don't like that. That's a weird choice. Yeah, you can have that, though. Excuse me. So we're at 7 in trash. 7 in trash. Doesn't have a Don open for his silly event. So leader effect plus Haute Couture plus Jack. We can kill this twice. Yeah, we can kill this twice. We know he has 1 event. He might not have 2. And I do want to develop the Jack anyway. Killing this twice seems compelling. Let's go 6. He's got to do something here, right? He should probably take this one, in all honesty. Yeah, I think you take this one, actually. I'd love to see more Rebeccas. Hopefully this Tempest kit can draw us into one. Obviously can't play it this turn, but hopefully next turn. I mean, I guess we can play it this turn. It's an option, but I don't think it's what I love. Go on, brother. Just take... You just want to take this swim, I'm pretty sure. Because you want to be able to protect this Marco, right? Who knows? Maybe he had to go to the bathroom. Why are we debuffing Brooke? Bro. This guy's not new as well. This guy's like nearly 3 billion bounty. Why did we debuff the Brooke? I don't get it. Either way, maybe I can't play the Jack because of the... I don't want for the Tempest kick now. Oopsie. And we can play the Jack, but then we can't double pop. Maybe we don't go with the Jack this turn. Maybe we go with the Rebecca. Yeah, oops, that's a big oopsie. We don't have Rebecca. Can't go with Rebecca. Sugar. What do I do now? I couldn't put a Don on here. I forgot. Fuck. I mean, we can still just use the Jack, but then we can't double pop, and he's just going to trash the that one event, which I really don't love. It's going to 9 next turn, not 10, notably. I think I want to tax him at least 2 cards, really, man. I think I'm going to go with the Tempest kick, bring it down to 1. Then we'll go with the Brook, get rid of it. No, but it refreshes the fucking cost, doesn't it? Ah, I forgot that. Because it refreshes the cost, that is a pain. I guess we'll just go with the Jack. Yeah, that sucks, actually. Damn. Either way, developing the Jack is not bad. We'll trash Lucci at this point. Go to that. He can bring it back, trashing the Red Hawk. And he should. Yeah, there's the Red Hawk. Damn. Yeah, maybe could have done something better there. Yeah, you can have that. I forgot this refreshes the cost. I was doing all this complicated math, but in reality it was very simple. It doesn't refresh the cost, so there you are. 8 for Rayleigh, I'm guessing. I don't really want to take this one. I'm going to give him Khalifa. And there's going to be 8 for Rayleigh, right? 8 for Dragon. Okay, that is worse. I didn't expect that. I expected he'd do it the other way if it was Dragon. But that's my bad, I guess. We can go with the Kaido here, though. It's not bad. Damn. Yeah, mistakes have been made here. Mistakes have been made this game. For sure. Go 6 on 5, Demander 2. But I think we are getting rapidly run out of this game. Without Moria, we just don't have the pressure. Yeah. We'll ditch the Lucci here. Go to that, and he's got to trash a card. Just a building snake here, nothing too crazy. Now he's going to drop 10 Shanks, and we can't counter this 6, which is really annoying. So we only have 2 1Ks, which is just not ideal, is it? Even Dragon here would be pretty bad. Yeah, we can't counter that. Yeah. Yeah, this is terrible. The game is over. Yeah, no, this just goes a 3, right? Okay. I mean, Rebecca Lucci is always an option. It's always an option. We've got to draw into Rebecca, though, here. How many have we seen? We've seen 2. That's not a Rebecca. It is a blocker, though. So we don't just die. We should probably die. Okay, let's reduce this to... What's this at? This is at 5. Then we'll go 1 more. Ah, it's not Rebecca. Damn. We'll reduce it to 2. Which counter do we have? We have 2. Yeah, we can't KO this, right? We could freeze it with Haute Couture. See if we can get rid of this at least. Doesn't look like it. Yeah, it brings it back. Yeah, that's annoying. I think we lose from here. So we can freeze this with Haute Couture. We can do 5 for Sabo. That's going to be 6. So we need to KO Marco with a 7. It's not happening. There's no way. Right? Yeah. Yeah, that'll do ya. That'll do you, I'm pretty sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's not enough. It's not enough, but we'll make the... Ah, there's the bloody Rebecca. There's the bloody Rebecca. Oh, let's see if he messes up his swings. I guess we maybe survive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I think we actually do survive here, right? Because he has to, unless he has a rush. If he has a rush unit, I don't know. We might survive this turn, you know. But it's like, how do we even go from here? Like, what do I do from here? We're gonna lose all of our counter. 7. It's dragon, isn't it? I know it's dragon. We have to do it this way, though. Excuse me. It's another dragon. And it's another bloody dragon. Yeah, 8. Can we can't even counter it. Yeah, we just lose. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, unlucky. Yeah, GG's. That was a close one. I probably could have done something better there. That Marco was just really troublesome. He had just enough events to save it every time. It's hard. Now that you don't have the Moria to spam Rebecca's as well. You've got to just draw the Rebecca. Which is tricky. I'll play to our opponent though. Let's move on. Green, yellow, law. He's going first. This is alright. We can drop the Brook. I think I'll keep this. It's not the craziest hand in the world, but it's not bad. We've got a reasonable... We've got a crazy curve of who we're going first. But even going second, it's not bad. The Brook's really good into the law decks. He grabs a 7-cost law. Cool. We'll just pass. Nothing doing on 2. Obviously, would much prefer to go first. We could have dropped this Brook on 3. As it happens, we're going to drop the Brook on 4. But there's nothing substantial he can do on 3. Yeah, just going to swing. That's fine. We'll go with the Brook and the Spandam to start filling the trash. Let's go 5 here. Use the card action. -1 for fun. We milled a Manchuri and a Rob Lucci. Not bad. Not bad at all. He's going to take... We'll go with the Spandam. And can grab only CP, so we'll take the Tempest Kick. That's a nice grab, though. Then we'll go with the Brook, give it to the Luffy, and then the turn. So he's going to have difficulty using his leader effect this turn, because he'd need to have a 5-cost character and put one on his leader, which is quite challenging. Just Brook destroying all these little weenies that they like to bounce, things like this Luffy and Carmel and Bonney. He's just very powerful. It's no joke. Okay, there was Cavendish, so he can use his effect, but he's not going to want to. 7 on 5. We're at 4 in trash. Let's remove this. We can reduce it to a 4. Let's reduce it to a 2. We're not quite there. Kaku can get rid of it. if we get one more CP card in trash. I might take one more. Yeah, sure. Okay. Another Kaku. Right. Yeah, he's not going to want to do this. There's no way. So we've got the Kaku. I prefer to not have to drop the Spandam if I don't have to. Let's do the mill and see what we hit. Use the card action. So what do we hit? We hit double Kakus. Okay. He's down to 2 already. That's a little crazy. So he's down to 2. So we can use the... Use the 5-cost Kaku here to remove it after we reduce with Brook. That's pretty good. Next turn, we can maybe drop Jack and go from there. So let's go 5 with Brook. Reduce by 1. And then we'll drop the Kaku. He's going to finally counter a hit. Gives us a Bonney. We'll use this. We'll send back the 2 Kakus to kill this. End the turn. Very nice. He can go with his 7-cost Law this turn. That would be pretty powerful. If he wants to attack 6 into just the Brook, I probably will save it. However. Yeah, 6 into Brook. I don't know what this is going to be. Actually, I do. It's a Bonney. So he can freeze our Brook. I don't love that. I don't love that at all, actually. Any cards we have in trash? We have 4 in trash. We can go 6, 7... It's up to 6 with leader. We go up to 8 here. We're not quite at enough. Even if we counter 2 cards to remove the Law. Hopefully we can remove the Bonney, though. And we can't quite, not with current board state. Not with the Jack, anyway. I'm gonna... I think we want to leave this... Yeah, I think we want to keep this. So let's go... 2. And probably 1 for Kaku. I think that's about right. Doesn't use its effect. Interesting. So we have 6 in the trash. We can get it to 8 very easily. Let's start with that. Milda, Couture, Patchwork, and a Brook. Okay. So, I mean, we can remove this, right? We can go... What reduction do we have in here? Not a lot. We have a Brook. We can go Spandam, Tempest Kick. That brings it down to 4. Ooh, double Tempest Kick is expensive, though. I do want to establish this Jack. We're like 1 card off being able to remove this super cleanly. That's annoying. Maybe I could have over-countered last turn. Maybe we'll just go with the Rebecca play this turn and go with the Jack next turn. So this is at 6. This is going to bring it to 5. That'll bring it to 4. So we need 1 Tempest Kick. So let's go with the Spandam. Cool. Epic. In that case, we'll go with the Rebecca Hina now that we have the Hina in the trash. The Hina will bring it down to 2. We still need 1 Tempest Kick. That's annoying. That's close. Let's attack for 6 with Kaku. We know this isn't a trigger anyway. The putting the puzzles together now is a lot harder than it used to be. Give us a Bej, sure. Yeah, so we'll Rebecca Hina Tempest Kick. But we'll go Tempest Kick first. Now we get another Jack, sure. It's not quite what I was looking for. Rebecca. Hina over 1 of the Spandams. Minus here. And then we'll just attack for 6 with Brook, I guess. Cool, and he's going to counter again. Okay, staying nice and healthy. We've got a decent board now. If he has another one of those laws, that would be quite troublesome. As a Hody, that's also pretty good. We have no counter is an issue. I'm hoping he goes for some board here and not just playing aggro. Yep. You got it. And then maybe this is 8 into Kaku. I don't know. I think both of these should have probably been into life. But either way, this Rebecca's restanding, which is very nice. Yeah, sure, we can have the Kaku. I don't care. I really don't care. We've got 14 in trash. This is at 7. We can do Tempest Cake plus Jack. I think I want to keep the Kaido for in a little bit. And establishing the Jack is just very good. So let's go 5 here. Use the card action. Bring it down to 6. Tempest Cake, bring it down to 3. We can... And then he concedes, yeah. He sees the writing on the wall. We were going to win that one. We can remove the Holy Jones. We've still got a Rebecca blocker. Still at 3 life. Got another Tempest Kick. We're going to get a 2k off of the Tempest Kick. And then who knows what off the Jack. Looks like maybe a Hina. Real Rebecca, can't tell. Convincing when they're against Green Yellow Law. Removing their staff was always pretty good. So it makes sense that we're still good into them. So let me know what you think. What do you think of Lucci? What do you think he's going to be like in this meta? I think this guy's got a lot of promise. Blackbeard is, of course, very difficult. Not having your on plays is really tough. It's honestly potentially even tougher for this deck, certainly this list, than Smoker, because we don't even have the 4-cost Kuzan to do a bit of reduction. I've seen some people playing 5-cost Ashigi. I'm going to be real, I don't like that. I really don't like it in Lucci. It feels incredibly weak. But if you're getting success with it, more power to you. But other than Blackbeard, honestly, this deck's just kind of still really good. Doflamingo was by far the deck where you needed to high roll the most. And that's now a lot weaker, so I think there's some room for Lucci to do well, even with these more mid-range plays like Kaku and Hina. The Horticulture I'm not sold on. I think it's good, but like 4-cost Kuzan's pretty good too. I don't know, we'll see how we go, but either way, let me know what you've been playing in your Lucci decks, if you've been having great success. If you want to give this list a go, absolutely do. And again, a shout out to ACG Dollars for his list. Thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed, do leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And I hope you have a lovely rest of your day.